to a real fight wasn't right. Where can she dream here?
Good evening, everyone. It is Wednesday, which means pACT. How's it going? My name is Zach Clayton from Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels. Hey, we've got a lot of things coming up. This last weekend was just filled with a bunch of really cool stuff for us as a company because we learned a lot of things about ourselves. We came up with a few things. We learned a few things, and we've gotten access to a few things that we've been so desperately missing. One of them is going to be the return of community impact. Community impact, though, there's going to be a change. And it's not just going to be a podcast anymore. It's going to have a whole lot of items coming to it, and it's going to be involving small businesses, your events out there, and so much more. July 1st is when we're aiming to launch this. So be ready, because there could be a lot of stuff coming your way. I have a couple of meetings coming up this week that's really going to dictate how quickly things work and how quickly things happen. I would like to thank the people at Achieve University for all of their training. I was down in Denver on Thursday and Friday of last week. The only thing that bugged me is I was in training while the NHL trade deadline came and went, and that's okay. You know what? To be honest with you, my Devils are sucking it up this year. God, they're terrible this year. They just, no excuse for it. No excuse. But they're not eliminated from the playoffs, but they're that close. So, but hey, we have two newish goaltenders that are much older than the ones that we had all season. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. So thank you to everyone at Achieve. Met a lot of really, really good friends, and met a lot of really good people that you are going to be seeing all around Community Pay It Forward, because we're going to be doing a lot of work with them. We also have, as you guys know, the brain injury program going. And tonight we are welcoming a friend who has been on the show a couple times, Stephanie Berman from the Aziza Project. And we're going to be talking a little bit about the Aziza Project, but mainly we're focusing on brain injury and everything. Look, getting up and living after a brain injury, as everyone, or as many of you out there know, there's a lot of things that are different after a brain injury. But the one thing that everybody who suffered some type of brain injury has in common is you're uncertain. You don't know exactly what's going to happen from this point on. We say it every day. I'm going to continue to say it because it's so true. If you break an arm, if I break an arm, they set your arm, they wrap it up, they put you in a sling, your arm heals. We can't do that with brains. And every brain is a little bit different, and that's not a joke on mental capacity. That's just the truth about everyone and our brains. It is the second Wednesday, Friday. Look at that. I'm already trying to get the weekend here. I think that just means I didn't have much of a weekend, but it is the second weekend of the month, or Wednesday of the month. Boy, I am really trying to get the weekend here, I guess. But which means that we get to talk to our really, really good friend, Les Simpson. And he's got he's been helping me get set up in my account set up with there, and getting everything ready to go with Finmore. Um, and remember, Finmore is the change. It is no longer, it's no longer Z Bucks. It's now Finmore. So, without any further ado, I'd like to bring you my friend, great partner, great friend, Mr. Les Simpson. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. And I think it's quite interesting. It'll be interesting to see what you're talking about in July. You definitely got some interesting attractions, I guess you'd say, of figuring out what's going on. And but yes, everything's going great, and getting quite a people signed up, and really excited. We're supposed to be going full blast by the end of the month. Right now, the travel site is up. Anybody that wants to book travel anywhere in the world, they can get up to 50% off. And in fact, my wife went to a conference 3 weeks ago in Dallas, and 4 Point Sheridan, and she got $45 off for 2 days under the conference price. And we're going to Chicago next month. And if we would have stayed at the custom suites, we'd have got $63 off of a $320. But she decided wanted to stay closer to her niece. And so we only got $38 off. $38, terrible.
Yeah.
For 2 days.
It's actually kind of funny though, because you look at it and staying closer, you're probably going to save more than the additional savings just in fuel alone. So
yeah, that way we don't have to have a rental car, and we'll just Uber, and they have a shuttle from the airport, so that we're gaining a lot, plus the fact that she's closer to her. So what I want to do tonight is kind of summarize the whole thing. As far as I've been talking the last 2 or 3 times about nonprofits, and we definitely still can help nonprofits. But what I want to talk to everybody tonight about the business opportunity itself. And so I'm going to put a PowerPoint up for $200 if you know anybody that really would like to go to work, or help businesses basically stay in business because they keep their employees. Then that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. You're going to see tremendous possibilities for anybody that really wants to get connected. And also, I'm going to mention something else. You'll have the opportunity tonight to join, and I'll have a QR code. But if you go to lessimpson.finmore.com and join tonight, either the membership for $50 or the business for $200, and send me an email, I'll actually invite you to a meeting that we're having every Wednesday. And that's with my managers. And they've been working with businesses for many years, and we can show you how to make substantial money in no time at all. So let's go ahead and share this. And
let me ask you this: have people gotten the news? Has it been pretty easy to share the news about the name change and the organizational changes and everything?
Yes, because the whole concept before was just saving money on products and travel. Now we're going to do everything, provide everything to companies that Fortune 500 companies have, but with pennies on the dollar. And so when with all of our major partners that are now in it, it's just a different thing. And people can't believe $200 they can have this as far as a business. And then membership. But let's go ahead and let's see, where is it? Window. Let's see. It's there somewhere. There we go.
All right. And here we go. And Les, I am going to take you and I off the screen so they can see it a little bit better. They can, of course, hear us, but they won't see us. So
Right.
I'm going to take us off the screen.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, everybody can see that?
Yes, everybody can see it.
Okay.
And let me make sure. I'll make sure that it switches when you go to the next.
Okay.
All right.
Now, oh yeah, that's right. We had that problem last time, and I had to just show the slides, which if I need to, I need to. The reason this is so timely is inflation is out of sight. Employers can't provide employees a lot of the things they used to because they're just surviving. And of course, the employees are getting a lot more money with all of the federal minimum wage. And so the employers, all they can do is do what they do. And I mean, when I'm talking inflation, my wife and I used to go out for dinner and it was $65. Now it's 90. And even fast food used to be 9. Now it's 12. And so nobody has the funds anymore. And what we're going to do is provide the employers the ability to help their employees in their budget. And that's where we're going to come in. Now, first off, this works phenomenal if you've got connections to restaurants, furniture stores, or car dealerships. And the reason I state that is restaurants, furniture stores, and car dealerships have employees, but then they have daily customers coming in. And I'll get into more detail on that. But if you have these connections, you can build a business pretty fast. In fact, talking about the possibilities, if okay, now I'll tell you about it. If a restaurant, for instance, if a restaurant purchases this opportunity for $200 and they provide this to their employees, and then they provide it to all their customers by having you've seen those table signs that people read before their lunch comes. Well, if they have that there with a QR code, a 3-minute video, then the customers want to save this kind of money too. And I'll explain that. But if you have connections into a large company, like a data storage company or a hotel group with 10,000 employees, then you're going to be kind of amazed the amount of business you can build very, very quickly. And one of the things that Dan's going to go over at 7 tonight, Mountain Time, 9 Eastern, is how to sign up complete amateur sports teams. And this is real now because with our travel, all these amateur sports teams need those discounts on destinations because they're traveling all the time. And so if you contact the sports manager and he signs up all that sports, and pretty soon he signs up the league. We're talking serious business possibilities here. And for only $50 per month per employee, we solved the number 4 and 6 reason employees leave. Number 4 is I didn't feel the employer valued me as a person and treated me as a person, an individual, and you're going to find that we definitely do that. And the employee didn't feel the employer had the ability or desire to help him in their career or as a person in education. And you're going to see that we completely solved that problem. Now, what's happening is our membership is $50 annual and $4.95 monthly. And this is kind of like a Sam's card or a Costco. The difference is we're going to go much further. If you're going to be able to take all your household expenses and use it twice through our e-commerce website. And the e-commerce website will have 30 to 50% off of thousands of top quality items. First off, everything used daily, toilet paper, paper towels. And you're going to find out that we've really stressed the fact that people will be coming to our website at least once a week, just like they do the grocery store. And 30 to 50% off Premier Travel. And the reason this is so good for you is when they come every single week, they're your customers. And so they're going to be telling other customers about it. And when they come on and refer them, they become your customers. So it's unbelievable. We're also going to be they're going to be able to buy telemedicine, health app, dental discounts, pharmacy discounts, all at 20 to 50% off. And if you would like to go to Les Simpson, LESSIMPSON.finmore.com, that's what this QR code is. You can go right there and sign up for the $50 and $4.95 or the $200. And again, if you send me an email after that, I will invite you to our meeting tonight. And my upline, I guess, or manager, has been working in business for 20 years. He has 850 people under him, and he's going to teach us how to get into businesses. Now, everybody asks us, how can we possibly offer this money off of everything? How do we make any money? Well, we're part of the banking industry. Now, the reason that's so prevalent is banks made $3.1 billion last year in just your card swipe. And we get to take part of that, and we get to use that to make money so we can provide all these products and services at so low of a cost. In fact, by June, we're supposed to have our own debit card. And there's two types of people with some people use debit cards, some use credit cards. And I'll go into more detail on that. But debit cards, if you're a debit card user, you know there's no rewards. You can spend $100,000 a month and there's no rewards. Well, now there will be. We'll have you, if you want rewards for your debit card, you will open a checking account in one of our many banks, and we'll issue a debit card. And every time you use it, it gets credits, which I'll go into. Now, all the cards you have in your pocket now, all your credit cards, all your debit cards, whatever, you will register online for the $4.95 a month. And then every single time you use a credit card anywhere in the world, you're getting one-on-one, $1 to one credit to use on our e-commerce website. Everybody asks, well, why would I need that many credits? I'll show you. And as I mentioned, especially if you're a business, all your costs of utilities, transportation, tax expense, cost, groceries, everything now become credits that you can use twice. This gentleman here, Peter Rancy, is the president of the National Bankers Association. He's the founder of this. And this lady here, Merlin Campbell, she's developed a division.
Oh, you know what, Les? You're still on the restaurants, and I thought that you were. You keep circling around things that you're talking about, so I thought that we were. I thought you were still talking about this page. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, okay.
But you're still on You're still on slide number 3.
Okay. All right. We'll go back.
There you go.
Okay. Did you see this one?
Yeah, that's where we've been. Is on
okay.
That.
All right. Well, this is what the membership consists of. The 4 benefits is you get to use all your money twice. E-commerce website, which I'm going to show you some of tonight. Travel destinations, which I mentioned to you. And all these different things you'll be able to get 20 to 50% off. And again, we get paid from the banking system is one of the reasons you get so low cost, because we don't have to make money like a lot of companies. The banking system, every time you swipe your card, we get paid. And we will be issuing our own debit card. Like I said, if you use debit cards right now, you have no rewards. And now if you want rewards, you'll just open a checking account, FDIC insured checking account at one of our many banks. And we'll issue a Visa or MasterCard debit card. And anywhere you use that or any of your present cards, anywhere in the world, you now get credits for our e-commerce website. And again, now I'll say this again, you wonder why you need so many credits. first off, again, everything that you spend on a credit card or debit card can now be turned into fin credits to use on our e-commerce website. This gentleman here, Peter Rancy, is the president of the National Bankers Association. He's the founder and the genius behind this program. This lady here is our chairman of the board, and it's Berlin Campbell, and she's developed divisions of Merrill Lynch and Smith Barney. She's been in banking over 40 years, and she's in charge of everything. But one of the things I really want to stress here is this program was designed by women for women. And I'll tell you why that's so prevalent. Now, first off, this lady here, she's the professor of commerce at Pepperdine University. And Kimber Mortacodozzo has built divisions of Estee Lauder, Herbalife, and so forth. She has what they call the $1 trillion Rolodex. She can call any manufacturer anywhere in the world, and they'll receive her call. And there's so many companies wanting in on this. And again, the whole idea of it is social impact banking. What I mean by this is we want that employee to be able to now afford life by doubling their buying power through the e-commerce website, but so much more, which I'm going to show you. And again, our membership is only $50 per year, just like your Sam's or Costco, and $4.95 a month. And what that allows you to do is get many more valuable rewards. And we're going to show you our Flourish part, which takes in your health and all kinds of things. And again, anytime you use your card anywhere, you buy $150 worth of groceries, you'll have 150 reward points. And of course, all your reward points now are 1 to 5% of the purchase. And by the way, we don't want you to stop using your present reward points. Like, for instance, use your American Express and get your flight. Once you get there, use our destination at much less than they can give you. So use all your reward points from all your credit cards. Now you've got additional ones for $50 a year and $4.95 a month. And so I'll show you that. And now what's going to be in the Fin store? All these different things, as you can see, everything that people use all the time. But what's really going to be interesting, again, this is designed by women for women. Now, why is that so important? 85% of in the family, the woman is a shopper. And you as a business person want them to come back every single week to your website. And the reason for that, I'm going to show you. And again, it's all the brands you already know. But we also are going to have many brands that just do not give discounts. And the only way you'll be able to see those brands is password protected, as they said. Now, there's 5 different divisions. There's the new and featured items that we'll have every week to bring the women back, because women like to shop and see different things. Regular shopping, flash sales, travel, or services and travel. And so first off, all the new additions. Every single week, the people come back and they will see new and interesting items. Again, women love to shop. I asked my wife about it. She says, well, absolutely. That's just us. If you've ever watched women at a sale like in Macy's or something, and there's 15 levels of shirts, they love going through them and checking them out while we're standing there. I mean, I'm bored to death, but that's women. They love to shop. They love to dig. They love to compare. And so that's why, again, designed for women by women. And we're even going to have over-the-counter drugs. A lot of families spend a lot of money at the pharmacy. And we're going to have that there too. And we'll have groups of products that if people buy, for instance, baby 4, 5, 6 items, they even get further discounts. But one of the big things that's going to happen is women-owned businesses. As I mentioned, that Kimber has connections all over the world. When a women's group of businesses heard about this, they say they wanted to be on it because a lot of their sisters would love to buy for women-owned businesses. And we're even going to have fashions under us. And the fin flash sales. For instance, and this will be first come, first served. Every single week, there'll be different things, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week. Like these lawn chairs, $150 retail, 120 fin credits, and you buy them for $30. Now, my question is this. If somebody sees these, your neighbor sees these in your patio, how many of the ladies are going to talk about this, that they got them for $30? How many of your neighbors are going to know? And the reason this is so important as you as a business person is, first off, as soon as you pay that $50, you get 1,000 fin credits to start your journey as soon as you use one card. But everybody that you bring on, you get the person gets 500 fin credits and you get a new customer. And I'm going to show you when you get paid here why that's so important. So this thing's going to grow like you wouldn't believe. Right now we have 148,000 members. And as soon as we turn on, hopefully by this end of this month, where people can refer their friends, we figure each person will bring in 3. So we're looking at 600,000 members. And that's just by probably the end of next month. Here, a sleeper mattress, $100 retail. Again, 85 fin credits, $15. And fin travel. This is going to be huge. And it is huge right now. This is available right now. If you go to lessimpson.finmore.com and pay your $50 and $4.95, you can start your travel right now. We've contracted with all the hotels, the condos around the world, vacation rentals, and you'll see all the different things, exclusive pricing. And also, if you decide you want a quick vacation, we're going to feature different things like this that we have even negotiated further down. To give you an idea, right now, if you want to go to San Diego, if you notice this price up here, this is $2,000 for this. If you put in 851 fin credits, now you're going to start seeing why you need so many fin credits. 851, you get that for $1,237. That's a full week, folks. And now watch this one. Cancun, regulate $6,700. 4,000 fin credits. Again, that's the reason you need a lot of fin credits. You get this all-inclusive adults resort and spa for $2,400. These are the type of things that are going to be all the time. We're going to have cruises like you wouldn't believe. And this shows you just an example comparing Priceline and Finmore Travel. Now that we've saved hundreds of dollars on products and travel that the employee uses every day, and again, all the companies you contact, you can offer this. Our next aim is to save those employees money on their most purchased services. First off, we want to reduce all their doctor visits. So much money is spent at the emergency room doesn't need to be. Dentists. Do you realize since the pandemic, 30% of people are no longer seeing their dentist? They can't afford it. Pharmacy medications and over the counter products. And unlimited telemedicine. For $24 a month, you're going to be able to have unlimited telemedicine for all your employees if the employer buys this. And the reason it's so important for the employer is now the employee doesn't have to take time off to go take their kid to the doctor. Call telemedicine 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And 85% of all emergency room visits end up in a prescription. Well, they can send a prescription to your local pharmacy. Dental savings, as I mentioned, I'm going to show you some of that. We've contracted with tens of thousands of dentists across the country, and you can bring in your dentist. And free pharmacy program, 800 different prescriptions free, and you're going to see that in a minute. And we have different packages for the telemedicine and your health. It's only $19.95 a month once you paid down your fin credits. dentistry and pharmacy. Show you the difference. And that's where health and wellness is. We're going to help the employee in every way possible. And again, you're going to be able to offer this to companies for $200, folks, the business. Telemedicine, dental, pharmacy, the academy, which I'm going to show you, the decision maker. For people that are struggling with their finances, we're going to have software that helps them. And all these different things, which I'm going to show you. We have this app that you're going to be able to download for that $24, including the telemedicine. It has 13 different things on it. It connects with your Fitbit and your Apple Watch to complete it. Now, what I mean by complete, for everybody that has all these diseases, we have nutritionists that have put together diets to keep them healthy. So your employees no longer have to worry about getting sicker. This will help them tremendously. And there's over 3,600 recipes, delicious recipes that they will be able to fix. And if they have a gym membership, we will have exercise programs so they don't have to hire a counselor. If they don't have a gym membership and only want to exercise at home, we'll have those too. And you'll be able to track on your body if you're trying to lose weight or gain. And let's see. The next is the dentist. As I said, up to 42% off. We got to get people back to their dentist. I don't know if you know of it, but when people let their teeth go, their health goes too.
Yeah, your bad dentistry is one of the leading causes for heart attacks.
Yep.
This is a true statement. So,
yep. So we're going to get those employees back to their dentist or our dentist. And this shows you again, it's regular at $79. You get 20 fin credits, and now you got your dentist. Now, this is the big one. We've partnered with all the big pharmacies, 4,000 of them. And you're going to be able to walk in there and get 800 free prescriptions or have 3 months supply sent to your home and discounts on 4,000 others, including insulin. If you know anybody diabetic, you know that's one of the most expensive things they have to pay for. Now you can sign them up for this and they get tremendous discounts. And just to give you an idea, this list here is all the diabetic medications that are free. 800 different prescriptions free. You're going to be able to offer this to your friends and businesses. And also all the over-counter stuff, like for instance, Tylenol here. Regularly $6, you'll get it for us for $3.99 for 100 count. So we're going to save all your employees a lot of money, and they're going to really see you care about them. Remember, number 4 is we don't think they care about us as a person, and we're going to solve that problem. And here we're going to solve the other problem. We don't think they care about us and allow us to increase in business ability or personal ability. We've contracted with D.R. Wallace. He is the #1 provider of soft skills in the world. He has 4 million subscribers. All of the major universities teach their employees through him. The cities and the major corporations. He has a program that is unbelievable, 8 minutes a day. And you can learn, lead and collaborate with others, solve problems, resolve conflict. Your employees can do this for $50 a month, including all that. They don't get the dental and they don't get the pharmacy, but just for this, $50 a month includes him. That includes 60 different courses they can take. How many of the employers would love to have advanced team building? Conflict resolution. How many companies need that these days? Increase the employees' creativity, effective decision making, effective communication, entry-level leadership. How many of your employees would you like to help learn leadership? All that's available now for $50. And for the people that struggle with their finances, we'll have an app they can get for $10 a month if they want it separate, that they put all their expenses in there. They put their goals in there. And if they're going to do something outside of their goals, this is going to come up with a red flag and warn them you're not following your goals. Maybe you ought to, instead of going to that expensive restaurant, maybe you ought to go to a medium restaurant. And also for business people know their skills, but as far as running their business, sometimes they don't. All this is going to be taken care of with artificial intelligence, like having a CFO, which will help them in business. Again, $10 a month. And so these are the packages. These are individual ones. And if you'll notice, like here, the essential is regular $120 a month. You buy it down with 70 fin credits to 50. All the pharmacy, dentistry, and everything is regularly 175. You buy it down to 90. And again, right now, the membership is $50 a year and $4.95 a month. If you go to lessimpson.finmore.com, you can sign up right now. And if you do, send me an email, les@threewaystobanking.com, and I'll invite you to the meeting tonight, and you can meet people that know how to get into businesses. But now let's talk about the money. Before I do that, I have to do an income disclaimer. Finmore does not guarantee any level of earnings. Earnings are based on successfully building your Finmore business and your community of businesses that do the same. All commissions are paid on commission qualified Finmore businesses and Finmore members. Now, first off, again, to get into this is only $199 one time. It's not annual, one time. And then you become a member for the $50 a year. And the way you get paid is every single time a person signs up for this $4.95, every month you get 30 cents. Now, 30 cents might not sound like something, but talk about that employee group with 10,000 employees. Folks, that's $3,000 a month. And when they sign up for the minimum bundle, you're getting $5 per month. And but the other thing is, when we pull the debit cards, the average family spends $2,500 monthly on a debit card. That again pays you $5. So $5 and 30 cents. That's $10.30 a month. Now let me put you something into perspective here. Again, remember your possibilities. A restaurant, I'm going to give you some figures. I want you to write these down or think about them. The restaurant buys this for $200. They sign up 20 employees. And then every single time somebody comes in to have lunch or dinner or breakfast, they have this placard that explains these benefits and the QR code there. People scan it. They sign up. Let's say a popular restaurant has 50 people a day coming in. Multiply by 7, needless to say, that's 350. And so we have 350 possible a week. And let's say 1 out of 7 purchase. So now we've got 50 people a week. Now 50 people a week times 4 is 200 a month. Now take 200 and multiply it just by the 5. What do you have? 200 times 5.
200 times 5, that's 1,000.
Okay, so now you get $1,000, and the next month. But and once we get the debit cards, you get 10, and so needless to say, you get 2,000, and then the next month you have 200 customers. But the one thing you're forgetting is all of these customers are going to this website every single day, all the women. And they're telling everybody about the fin sales, the new things, the buying from the women's stores. And so they're telling their friends. Every time they tell their friends and they come aboard, they get 500 fin credits. But you have a new person that's paying you this $5 a month. And so pretty soon it's growing so organically. And so the restaurant's getting 1,000 the first month. The second month, they have another 200. So now they have 2,000. By the end of the year, they can easily make it 50 grand. on this, and it's no overhead. And of course, to take that back, the possibilities here. What if a business owner comes in with a car dealership and he says, "Hey, I want this for my employees," so he signs up. But let's say the big one, let's say the data company owners comes in and he signs up. Now that restaurant has 10,000 employees, and they're making anywhere from $2 to $15 if they have the full package and the debit card. So 10,000 times 15 a month. Folks, we're talking the unbelievable business opportunity here. And again, I won't say you'll make a dime, but I'm saying the possibilities are there. And then also there's other bonuses. Like for instance, every time you sign somebody up on those customers, you get $5. So again, right now, if you go to Finmore, lessimpson.finmore.com and sign up for the $50, you can have the travel benefits starting tonight. The rest of it's supposed to be done by the end of this month. Or you can sign up on the business and decide to contact businesses. And again, if you do that and you send me an email, I will send you the link and welcome you to our meeting tonight. Either one of these. If you, because once you buy this and see the opportunities, we have people that sign up as members and then within a week sign up for the business because they find out the tremendous possibilities. And that's pretty much it. The opportunity is there. And if you do want to help nonprofits, feel free to email me and I will show you the program for nonprofits, because nonprofits can get all these as donations, which I'll be glad to show you. Any questions?
No, we didn't have any. We didn't have any questions come through yet. But I did want to show you something as we were working, as you were showing us. I went on to do something on my new Finmore account.
Good. Let's see it.
We are on our way to go see our granddaughters, all of our grandkids, the first part of next month, and we're going to be at Cobblestone Inn and Suites in Lakin, and I just signed up for the 2 days that we're going to be staying there, and I was able to find even a small town like Lakin, Kansas. Folks, they've only got, well, I guess they've got 2 hotels. But one of them is kind of like the Psycho Hotel. So, we don't want anything to do with that one. So I went on and I finished my part and added my cards to it. And I signed up right there to stay at that hotel when we go see my grandkids here in a couple of weeks. So
how much did you say?
We saved about $6 is what it is. So,
right.
But look, I don't care if it's 50 cents.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, gas is gas, and that $6 is going to go towards, that's another half a gallon of tank, in the tank that we might need. And that's being able to, buy an energy drink to keep up with all these little Yahoo kids.
Yeah. So, and we're also going to have rental cars and all that stuff. So the only thing we won't at this point, as far as we know, have flights, because flights have no return on them. And so that's why I said use all your credit cards to get your flights. And then once you get there, use us for your rental cars and other, discounts.
Yeah, I did want to show something on this that I really did like, because you know what, things happen once in a while. One of the things that I really liked on here was this little button up here. It says refundable. So I mean, this isn't like you're stuck. God forbid something happens and you can't go on the trip. You're not just stuck with with paying for the hotel. So
Yep.
That's a great thing. And I know a couple other I've been in this situation where I lost money because they wouldn't let me cancel the hotel, and I just couldn't go, and I ended up losing the money on a hotel because I used a certain site, and I know I'll never use that site again, but
Sure.
you know, but so the money's refundable if you can't go, you can't go. So, but yeah, that's really cool. And they're looking at the end of the month before when everything is done.
Yeah, they figure the end of the month or the very first of April. And then because the main thing right now is they're getting all the technical stuff where it works. It would have been out before, but and again, if you sign up right now and send me a email, I will send you the link and welcome you in to introduce you to my manager, and he has 850 people under him. And
Wow, that's that's great. Why don't we just talk real quick because we are going to have a couple nonprofits joining me here at the top of the hour. But why don't you go on ahead and tell them some of the advantages real quick
sure,
of a nonprofit with Finmore?
sure. Well, what we do is I'm working with a retired nonprofit attorney on the East Coast. And see, if a nonprofit, for instance, got into this, they would start making so much money. It's called unrelated business income, which is not good. Unrelated business income, they get taxed 37% on everything that comes in. What we do is we set up a separate company, and like the executive director or the board of directors become a part of the LLC, and they become their own sponsor for that LLC. I mean, for the nonprofit. And then this company sells the memberships to all of their supporters. And then it comes back into the LLC, and the LLC is able to donate it to the nonprofit. It's quite cute. I mean, it's unbelievable. And we have a lot of, like, for instance, the Christian Philanthropy Society, Sports Philanthropy, has 50,000 members. And they're really excited because they're already signed up to do this. But we have a lot of nonprofits that nonprofits are hurting out there.
Yeah.
And the three real benefits is I've talked to nonprofits that are not big enough or old enough to have grants.
Mm-hmm.
They only have 5 supporters, but I asked them if they have a restaurant they know that would be willing to work with them, and that's what they're going to look into. Because if they have this side entity and they sign up the restaurant for $200, well, we've already shown you that restaurant could make 50 grand by the end of the year. Well, that's also the same amount that their LLC makes. So now they have 50 grand funding for the nonprofit. And again, if you have a nonprofit that you need funding, in fact, there's quite a few of them on this website that we really need to be connected into because they can get funding in a way they never had before. And this is what they call freewheeling money. Of course, all the grants, they can only use it for certain things. But with this, they can use it for anything. So it's just freewheeling money. So I'd love to talk to anybody. And for $200, you can get in and support that nonprofit. I will connect you with this attorney. They can set up the entity, and you get paid every time the nonprofit gets paid. Down to 10 levels, folks.
So that's just look. Imagine every time that somebody comes in and uses it, they get a portion of it.
Yep.
I mean, it's a win-win situation, and you know how much we love win-win situations here at Community Payout Forward. So I'm really looking forward to getting my card, and like I said, and just to let everyone know, when I was signing up, I was able to put on my Chime card. I was able to put on my PayPal prepaid debit card. So you can add those to the Finmore program. So that was really cool. I was looking in there. I got my regular banking card. I got my Chime card, and I got my PayPal prepaid debit card, which I use for business expenses. So all that was able to be signed up under my Finmore account. So now every time I make a purchase, I'm going to be getting, benefits that I get to use and save myself, my company, and my family some money. Like I've already done that with the trip. So
phenomenal. And feel free, anybody, to email me with any questions. But again, sign up right now, and then I will send you a link and welcome you to. And Dan, in fact, we have a gentleman on there who has built and sold 3 businesses, and now he owns one in the New York Stock Exchange called Loop. And he says this is the biggest change in business he's ever seen. And he's really excited about it. So, and by the way, we have many celebrity football players and different ones coming aboard because they want to be able to help schools and so forth they work with, and we'll be able to sign the schools up, the teachers. They can actually buy products for the school. Teachers buy so many things for their classrooms that they shouldn't, but now they'll be able to do it at much less discount. So if you know any teachers in schools, let's get them on the program.
Yeah, it's a damn crime that we make teachers pay for the stuff that the schools don't do. But that's another story. So yeah, this is great. There's so many ways to help people. Once again, you can get a hold of Les by going by giving him a call, 303-579-6881, 303-579-6881, or Les at the number 3 waystobanking.com, Les at the number 3 waystobanking.com, or you can go to his brand new website, lessimpson.finmore.com. That's lessimpson.finmore.com. If you'd like to connect with Les and you didn't get all this information, just go to communitypayitforward.us or just shoot me a message and I will make sure that I get you connected to him. Great guy, great program, always looking out for nonprofits. And once again, you know what? Maybe you're retired, but you're looking for a little bit of extra money. Maybe you're just looking for a little bit of extra money. Why not get involved with this and help yourself, help your family, and help other families along the way? So, Les, another great show, another great job.
All right. Well, everybody have a good evening.
All right. You have fun at your meeting, and we will talk to you in a month.
Yep.
All right. Thank
Bye-bye.
you very much. Les Simpson, Finmore, lessimpson.finmore.com, lessimpson.finmore.com, and once again, 303-579-6881 or 303-579-6881 or Les, LES at the number 3 waystobanking.com. Get a hold of him any way you can because he's looking to help you and everyone in your family, along with everyone in all the other families, as we turn banking into fundraising and change the way you make purchases by simply giving you huge discounts and money back. That's plain, pure, and simple it. You get benefits for shopping. That's unheard of until now. And that's what our mission is for this entire month. Once again, along with it being, Women in History Month and all these other months, which we don't look, we're not purposely trying to forget any of those. Okay, this month was very special though to me personally because I'm sitting here doing this because of a brain injury that I suffered. If it wasn't for the brain injury I suffered, I would probably still be driving truck or doing something else. But I didn't. I had the accident. I injured my brain, and now I'm here. Um, Lucky you, right? I mean, oh yeah, thank God for that. You end up suffering because I've got a brain injury. I know. Um, we are very, very happy to have two really, really wonderful, wonderful people joining us. And we've been on this show together before, which is really cool because now we're going to be able to come on here and we're all going to be able to delve a little bit deeper into this and talk about this not being the end. So, my partner for this month is a great man, the founder of Hydro with Hope, even though he just blacked out his screen for some reason. I think he just turned his camera off. Okay, there he is now. But Mr. I'm going to wait until he adjusts himself and, you know. All right. You know what? He just walked away. So I'm going to introduce the founder of the Aziza Project. She is a great friend, another one of our mission partners. And I am so happy to have her back because it's been a day or two since I've been able to talk to her, Miss Stephanie Berman. How are you doing, Steph?
I'm good. How are you, Zach?
I'm doing good. And I think he's kind of settled, even though he's messing with his camera still. That whole perfectionist. What the hell did we get together and decide we're both going to wear?
I can go change if you want.
Yeah.
Should I go change? Okay.
Apparently, I missed that memo.
Yeah. Well, So, Stephanie, how are you doing?
Oh man,
It's been a ride.
Yeah. We've actually talked about you the last couple of weeks. Yeah. So
That's what I get for not tuning in, I guess.
that's right. You could have told us to shut up and stop talking crap about you, but you didn't do that. So. But no, we were talking about you because you run a wonderful program with the Aziza Project, but you've also, as the two of us, you also suffered a head injury, and it was different for you than it was for either of us. So we brought you back on here to talk a little bit about it. But why don't you first tell us about the Aziza Project?
All right. So the Aziza Project offers hope to women who are suffering from complex gynecological pain by providing funding for them to see the doctors who have the knowledge and training to figure out what's going on. And that feels like a mouthful some days. But yeah, long and the short of it is if you're having gynecological pain and you don't know who to turn to, just call me. I'll help get you hooked up with some help.
Boy, I'll tell you this, you just kind of whipped through that now. I mean, you've almost got this down pat, don't you?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a wonderful program, and women don't let somebody tell you there's nothing wrong. Don't let the doctors tell you there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
As Jeff and I were talking about last week, they don't know you. They don't know your body, and you need to be the one that stands up for you. How you doing today, Jeff?
Good. Now that I'm sitting still, I literally it's 6:03 and I literally just jumped off another call at like 5:58. I was like, I gotta get I should have set an alarm or something. I looked out like we just got talking. I mean, and I just lost track of time and then luckily looked down. So
Yeah,
So that's why I was kind of jumping around there. So, but yeah, good to see you, Stephanie. It's been, so long.
Yeah, like an hour and a half. We were just
I
on
just saw her on
another
another call. So yeah, it's all good.
Well,
That's nice.
That's good. So, but Stephanie, why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey with your head injury? Tell us what you went through, and what are you living with now when it comes to the head injury?
Yeah. So it's really funny because I've never really thought of it as a head injury, but I guess it is kind of. Yeah, I see Jeff kind of giggling at me. And nobody, like growing up, nobody really said, "Oh, Stephanie, you have like a brain injury or a head injury or anything like this." It was all just like, "Oh, you have hydrocephalus," I was never really good in PE class. I remember in elementary school, the PE teacher looped a hula hoop over the basketball hoop, and all the other kids were shooting into the basketball hoop, and she's like, "Just throw the basketball through the hoop, through the hula hoop that was hanging down." I'm like, okay, so stuff like that. I was. Again, in elementary school, I was actually like top of my class for a lot of subjects: spelling, math, reading. I read like crazy. But really it was those motor skills where I really got caught. I definitely had therapy through elementary school, right up into like fourth, maybe even fifth grade. I don't remember. That helped a lot. I'm actually struggling a little bit more physically now, and I'm wondering if it's as a result of all of my physical therapy stopping so abruptly in elementary school. Now my body is like had, what would it be, 25 years of not having any therapy, and now I'm paying the price. So yeah, I don't know if that's what you were looking for, but that's kind of
because one of the things that we were talking about last week is, Jeff, you've had how many surgeries?
Brain surgery, 7 total.
7, and Stephanie, you've only had a couple, right?
I've had several, not as over as long a period as Jeff has. Most of my surgeries were when I was a young child, like preschool and under. And I don't think had 7 specifically brain surgeries either. If I stopped to count, it would probably be like 4 or 5 in those super early years. But I've had something like 13 surgeries over the course of my life.
Yeah. I think ironically, I think I had 1 surgery my entire life until about 33, and then all of a sudden I started getting hit with all kinds of surgeries, and now I just don't get injured without doing a damn good job and making sure that they're doing something to me. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't break small bones. I just demolish them now. So that's kind of what I do. But what, Stephanie, if you had somebody coming up to you and they were scared because they found out that their little girl has this, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to talk to my parents, for one. But then as far as like her life experience, I would say everybody's experience is different, and just take it day by day and see what happens. Get her the best care you can. That was part of what my parents did. Was they were like, she's gonna need lots of medical care, so we're gonna live an hour from Children's Hospital or whatever for the first 11 years of my life. And that it's not the end of the world, and that also that the parents kind of set the tone for what the child believes of themselves. So like I came in here and I said, I never really considered it a brain injury because nobody told me it was a brain injury. So I would say, the same thing, be honest in age appropriate ways, but don't use language that's going to make your child potentially think worse of themselves than they need to, if that makes sense. Like just how I was saying, nobody really told me, oh, you have a brain injury. And yeah, you go back and you read my CAT scan and my MRI reports, and they're like, oh yeah, this part of her brain is kind of messed up. So I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that would be a brain injury, wouldn't it? But there's a difference between encouraging your kid to use the strengths that they have and telling them they have a brain injury. So if you focus on the strengths rather than the weaknesses, your kid is probably going to end up being a lot more successful.
When did you finally find out that that hydrocephalus was brain injury?
Like I said, I didn't really consider it a brain injury until Jeff started talking as if it was one.
Damn it, Jeff.
Sorry.
I know.
Sorry.
Bursting my bubble, Jeff.
You just thought everything was all happy and copacetic, but
yeah, well, 2023 and 2024 have been very strange. Well, really, it started in 2022, I guess it was. I also got an ADHD and an autism diagnosis, so it's like my brain is lots of fun.
Oh, there's a party in there. All right.
Yeah, you just don't know who's going to show up. I know I've got that problem every once in a while. I don't know which Zach's going to show up to work today. Is it going to be the jerk? Is it going to be the funny guy? Is it going to be the dude that wants to sleep all day? Yeah. Or is it going to be a little bit of all of them?
Yeah, I can relate to that. Yeah, as far as that, the whole brain injury thing, it's been a journey, like just figuring out, even especially with like the neurodivergent piece added into it too. It's like my brain is a really interesting place and I just have to learn to work within it. And I think that's why 2023 and 2024 so far have actually been pretty decent years for me because I've learned to work with my brain instead of against my brain.
Well, I know the ending of 2023, I could not wait for 2023 to end. It just kind of turned, well, really, truthfully, quite horrific on me.
Yeah.
Starting in October, everything just went, and I've, since October, since I had that bout with COVID and the bird flu following that, since I had them right back to back, I have had migraines that are much worse than they were before. So it's it's kind of it's where I sit there and I'm glad that I've got the experience that I've got to where I can sit here and deal with them a little bit better than just sit there and hide. But I sure hope that things go back to normal. And for me, a normal is a grade, like a grade 4 migraine. So,
right.
But yet, Jeff, how many, and I know that you've talked to a couple people like this. How many stories do you hear that are like yours? And how many stories do you hear that are like Stephanie's? That the different, there's different aspects. You grew up knowing that, but your parents didn't sit there and Stephanie, I love your point. You don't sit there and you don't look at your kid and go, you're different. You're different. You're special. There's no reason to do that. If you make your child feel different, I mean, truth is your kids are different no matter who they are.
Right.
So, they're people. And if we keep it at you are people, I think they're going to grow up happier.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've had a couple people I've had a couple people, or well, at least one besides Stephanie on the show with hydrocephalus, and actually two others, and one was just a little person, and we were talking to the parents, but the one other that I talked to was very different from my story, very, very different. Not even so much different I mean, the effects were a little more severe. I don't know if they can't remember all the ins and outs of the story, if they didn't catch it in time, and so the brain damage was greater. And so I don't know. I don't remember all of it, but I do remember one part of her story was that she was told the opposite of what I was told. It was like, you know, we're going to protect you because you're sick. You don't. And so she had a very different growing up than I did, not better or worse, but just, for her, it was fine. It was what it was. But I listened to her and I said, oh my gosh, that's so different from mine. I mean, my parents never said any of that. I mean, they were crazy enough to let me skateboard without a helmet, snowboard without a helmet. I'm lucky to be here. Yeah. For 30 years, I've been snowboarding for 30 years. And up until about 3 years ago, I didn't wear a helmet. I've wiped out so many times. I can't believe I'm still here, honestly. And so, but they never really made a big deal of it. They never really had to make a big deal of it at all anyway, because the whole time I was living with them, we never had any problems with it. I would have surgery, carry on, life as usual. It wasn't until about 10 years ago that stuff started kind of stacking up and doing the multiple surgeries in a few years and crazy after effects. And, it didn't really, so my upbringing was very normal, super normal. Never even heard the word hydrocephalus hardly muttered in my house.
Yeah. It's really funny. As you were just talking, Jeff, I was thinking, and leading into what you're saying about, as you're getting older, things are kind of changing a little bit. It's the same thing happened to me earlier this week. I met with my specialist in Tulsa virtually. And he alluded to the fact, he's like, well, we know your neurological system is kind of weird already. So, maybe we haven't even really investigated if that could be playing a part in this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe I am just getting older and my body systems are breaking down a little faster than my friends. I don't know how that all ties together. So the other thought I had for you, Zach, was, as Jeff was talking, was I wonder if the experience that Jeff and I have with our brain injuries and stuff is different because we were born with it than somebody who encounters it later on in life. The way that your brain worked before the injury. Whereas for Jeff and I, it's just always been this way. So is it really an injury then?
Well, that's a good point, but I will say my brain did work differently before 2014.
Okay, there you go.
It did
That's
for
fair.
sure. I mean, I've definitely, because like you said, I've had 7 brain surgeries, but I've had about 15 surgeries overall. And a couple of those were eye surgeries to correct stuff that was going on with your brain, eye stuff. And so, I mean, there's been stuff, but really in the last 10 years or so has been when the crazy, side effects have been coming around. So I do remember, before and then after, but it's, I don't know. I'm in such a mode. I mean, in the last 20 years, I've been in such a mode of just, what's the saying, Zach? Launch and adjust, right?
Yeah.
How many times have you heard that in the last couple of weeks, right? Launch and adjust, 76%, ship it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just be flexible and roll with the punches, man. Cause otherwise you're going to drive yourself crazy.
Yeah. Can you stand up, get going? Because if you just, if you quit now, you're going to feel worse. And
exactly. Yeah.
That's one of the things that I like to try to tell people is that, if you stop, chances are you're going to feel worse, in which we all know. all three of us here, we all know that there's a point in time when you just got to go, time out. I'm taking a break. I got to go and shut my eyes for a little bit. This is too damn much. But if we were to stay down for longer, and I don't know about you, and let me ask you guys this question, okay? Because this is something that I suffer with, and it's infuriating to me, but that's because I let it be infuriating to me. When I lay down, when I wake up, I have the worst headache ever. Every time. And it doesn't matter if I shut my eyes for 10 minutes or 8 hours. I wake up with the worst headache to where I have to force people away from me. Don't talk to me for 20 minutes. Let me get this under control. Do either of you guys have to deal with anything like that?
No.
Well, not. I wouldn't say every time I lay down, but I will say in the last couple of years, I've definitely noticed that, and I didn't think this was I didn't think this was ever going to be a thing for me, and I can't really confirm that it is or not yet. It's been a while since I've had a CT scan, but with people with hydrocephalus, sometimes positioning is important, right? So, I've known people that can't sleep flat, right? Because the fluid won't drain right, so they have to sleep at a certain angle, and if they alter that angle too fast, it throws them off too. Or they, sometimes their brain is so sensitive that affects them poorly. And so I think in the last couple of years, that's become a thing for me. I don't know why, but I wake up from sleeping all night and I will have quite the headache. But just taking a nap for an hour or two or half an hour or whatever, not so much. In fact, that helps. If I have like one of those monster headaches because I did too much that day, sometimes that'll help make it go away. But I don't know. I wish there was a rhyme or reason to it. I haven't found it yet. But headaches are definitely still a thing. I'm not going to say that.
Yeah. And like I said, it's horrible. I mean, that is really one of the things that I think, I know I have to rest. I know I do. I know it's very vital to me being able to do everything that I do. But boy, I'm going to tell you, when it happens, I know I'm going to wake up. And that first thing I got to do is kind of make sure that everything is moving a little bit slower, that lights are low, that everything's going on. Because if I wake up and it's in a bright room and there's a lot of noise or a lot of motion, I'm in trouble. And when we've got kids around, that's a little hard to do sometimes. So, but I'm glad to hear that, that's not something that, because that's not a fair thing to happen. I'll tell you this. Hey, everybody, you can support the Aziza Project by scanning the QR code that you see right there, the one with the Aziza Project. But you can support everything that they do within the Community Pay It Forward program. Scan that code, pick a person that you need to shop, that can complete your purchases, and Stephanie will receive a portion of your purchase simply by shopping with our great partners. We've got wonderful partners that do a lot of things, and we're hoping by the end of the year that no matter what you need to do, there's going to be somebody to satisfy your needs. I know we're working right now, and I'm hoping to have it done by the end of the week at completing the mall in one, where you can go and you can get some of these great products like these wonderful plates. These are made of leaf. Okay, these are like better than paper plates. They're thicker. You actually can wash these a couple times and reuse them, and then when they're done, you put them in your garden as compost. So it's I mean, these are really cool. I love these things. I've actually had this on my desk now for like 4 years because I just like it. It's nice and but they're they're part of the program. I met her, and she every time. This is one of the coolest things about what she's doing is that when she helps women in India, and India is a place where women are not treated all that great. So and she helps keep them employed and keep them independent and keep them working. So it's really cool. But the all-in-one, and I'm trying to pull it up. Sorry, I'm not trying to ignore everybody. I'm just trying to pull it up. But when you go to the all-in-one, well, now I gotta change, stop sharing, present, all this fun stuff. Thank God this is live, So when you go to the all-in-one page, you have stuff like For Your Healthy Living products, ASEA, Isogenics, Life Vantage, Innovate, Shackley. Detox is what these plates are called, and it's so wonderful. Pampered Chef, Splat Mat, which you saw a little spot for earlier. For My Card, one of my favorite products. And then down here, we've got some books, with Alistair Banks, Characters and Words Collection. Jeff, you would really like her.
Okay.
And I need to make an introduction to you, you both with her, because she has created a set of journals for kids. She's got one for kids, one for teens, and one for adults, where, the one for adults, it's like got coloring pages and stuff like that. Obviously the ones for the kids do too, but like it's got the nice pictures and the diagrams and stuff that adults love to color, that helps keep them at peace. It helps kids, what did I not like about today? What did I love today? What do I love about myself? Very, very similar to what you're trying to do with your book. And we've got some great news coming up on your book, which is awesome, but that you'll be announcing here pretty soon. We've got all these items that are going for sale. And every time you buy it, you can either support right here, two of these programs, the Aziza Project or Hydro with Hope. So, but all you got to do is shop with our partners, and it's very simple to do. So, you were wanting to say something, Jeff?
Well, I was going to piggyback on something you said about the headaches that you're having, man. I mean, one thing when I was having, the last surgery I had left me with a couple of crazy effects that I did not anticipate. And one of them, I'm wondering if one of the remedies that I have found for something totally unrelated to headaches, but it's helped me. I'm wondering if I might help you, but I'll send you the link to it. But it's really cool. One of the effects that I got from the last surgery was large motor tics. So like my arm, my shoulder, my leg, all the way down my right side, just depending on how tired I am or how overwhelmed my brain is, it looks like convulsions. It's not great. And they're tiring and they're exhausting and painful sometimes. And so one of the things that I've found that I found on Amazon was this pad that you can lay down on the couch, and it just vibrates, and it's heated if you want it to be, but it's got like 8 or 10 sensor like spots on it, and it just vibrates, and you can adjust the severity of the vibrate, like the strength of it and everything. And I just like I'll get a headache or something, or get something, and I'll go out there on the couch and lay that sucker down and lay on a couple pillows and fall asleep. And when I wake up, I'm good. Like that. It's almost like the vibration of the pad distracts my brain enough to say, woo, over here, it's the pain's over there, but look over here. This is better, and it like
shiny squirrel.
Yeah, squirrel. Yeah, exactly. It's like a squirrel for your brain. And it really does. It like like 99% of the time when I wake up from doing that, I'm set. I'm good. It's like a system reset. So I don't know. I don't know if that would be something to try to maybe minimize those headaches. I don't know if it would work or not, but anyway.
You know what? Actually, when I have a good CPAP, a proper working CPAP machine, that even helps me because I've got I've got I've got lower grade sleep apnea. But and right now I've got an older CPAP machine because insurance. I love them. Gotta love them.
No, you don't.
They took my CPAP machine that was working so well for me on the day before Thanksgiving. And I've been using this old one since. And it's like this thing, this thing it works one day and suffocates me the next. So, but yeah, CPAP machines have helped me out. Stephanie, what are some of the things? And let's go on ahead and let's also talk about the Aziza and stuff that you deal with that way with your other afflictions. What are some of the things that you do to calm your body down, to tell your body, hey, you know what? Stop this. Relax. We're not, you're fighting me. We need to stop this.
Take a bath. I love being in water. So my go-to is to go take a bath. We're actually going to be remodeling our bathroom this spring sometime, and I told the guy, I'm like, I want a bathtub that's at least as deep as the one we currently have, because I think our bathtub might be a little deeper than like the typical tub. And so, that's definitely my go-to, whether it's been a stressful day, whether I'm in pain. I'm actually feeling like I have another meeting to go after this, so I'm not going to be done for another hour and a half tonight. And I'm thinking to myself, sitting in the tub for a few minutes while my husband makes dinner sounds really good.
When you come and visit Jeff and myself personally, you got to come and see the bathtub that we have upstairs. We've got one of those old clawfoot bathtubs.
Nice.
That's upstairs. Yeah, that thing, it amazes me. It's still upstairs and it's not like on the main floor or down here in the basement. The thing, it just tells you how well this house was constructed in 1907.
Maybe they dropped that sucker in there before they put the roof on.
I cannot see somebody trying to carry that thing up the stairs. So they built the house around it. That's for damn sure. But
seriously,
it's actually kind of funny, Stephanie. You are the second person in 2 weeks that has mentioned that's what they do to relax themselves, is taking bath, Epsom salts and stuff like that. Really good. Jeff, Kylie, she was the one who mentioned that she's a caretaker, and that's one of the things that she loves to do is just take and relax. Me, I can't do that. I just, that's not relaxing to me. I can take a shower all damn day.
Yeah,
but baths are not relaxing for me. No.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. All I think of when I'm in there is like I feel like you should throw in carrots and make a human soup.
Now I'm not going to turn down a hot tub with the bubbles and stuff I'm all about that. Like I'm a huge fan of really hot tubs. I'm all, especially when it's snowing outside. You can dunk your head down and then freeze your hair in a mohawk.
You would too, wouldn't you?
I'm not 6 or anything, don't worry. But no, totally. It's hot tubs are awesome, but bathtubs, I don't know. I can't do it.
And it really depends on how spun up my system is, because depending on if I've been neglecting my self-care and I'm spun up because of that, then shower really pulls me back and helps me refocus.
Well, here's a question I've been wanting to ask you for a while, and I apologize. Like I said, the end of last year was just horrific for me. I'm not going to lie about it. It just sucked health wise, but and I'm sorry I've lost touch. But how are you feeling since your last since your last go with the doc?
Ah, it's been a ride. Like I came in when I said it, I meant it. It's been up and down. My treatment in October didn't help as much as the one in the previous January did, so that was a bummer. And we've been kind of trying to find answers ever since. Ironically enough, I think I mentioned, maybe I mentioned on an earlier show I did today. I've been on too many meetings today. I saw my specialist on Monday for a virtual appointment and mentioned a random symptom that I'd been having in a different part of my body to him that's similar to my main symptom. And he's like, "So how are you treating that?" I was like, "Oh, with this over-the-counter cortisone ointment." He's like, "Well, try that." I'm like, "Okay." And it was like instant relief. I couldn't believe it. And so like yesterday and the day before, I was like feeling like pretty good. And I didn't use it today, and now I'm in pain. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm using it now. So I'll call the doctor because it was kind of an experiment to see what would happen. So he's probably going to end up prescribing a stronger steroid ointment that I've tried before that didn't work very well. But then that'll in itself be a clue too, because then we'll be able to say, well, why does this steroid work, but this one doesn't? So I'm actually feeling more hopeful than I have in a while. I know that I have a silver bullet that I can pull out if I need to. Because I don't mind being in pain. I know it's not the greatest for my system as a whole. But I also don't like using steroid creams constantly either. So it's just one of those things. We're still looking for answers. I'm going to see a nerve specialist in Portland in April to see if he has any clues. I'm going to be hoping to get some allergy testing done next week to see if there's any environmental issues going on. Yeah, so still knocking on doors, but feeling like maybe we're onto something with the steroid ointment. So we'll see.
I know, Jeff and I, like I said, we've been talking about, getting you on here because we wanted to get, we wanted to get your experience with this. How long of a recovery is it? And Stephanie, I don't even know if you would remember how long your recovery was, but Jeff, how long is your typical recovery?
For like a revision?
After the surgeries?
Like a brain surgery? Oh man. It's funny. It depends on the surgery, honestly.
That was going to be my answer too.
Yeah, the 4 that I've had most recently, the 2 I had in 2014 were back to back within 24 hours, and I was in the hospital for about 3 weeks. And then after that, it was quite a while before I was back on my feet 100%. But the one in March of 18 was not too bad. I think I was in the hospital a couple of days, maybe. And that was probably the quickest. It was fast because that was the first and only brain surgery that I've ever had that wasn't an emergency. That one I had like 3-month lag time to be like, okay, when do we want to schedule it? We got time, whatever. And then this last one, it was quick. I went in, on, the day of surgery at like 10 a.m. They did the surgery at like 1 or 2. And then I stayed overnight, and I was literally driving away from the hospital at like 1 or 2 o'clock the next day. Like, 24 hours and I'm out. It's like they needed the beds or something, it's like they were. So it really depends. I think it just depends on the surgery. I mean, every time you have surgery for hydrocephalus, it's related. It's always related to that stinking shunt, but it's always comes back to this stupid device right here. But it always presents itself a little differently. Like the first 2 that I had, in the last few years, I thought it was an appendicitis because the pain was all here, but it was all because of what this wasn't doing, which is where the pain was, and so anyway, it varies. I mean, unfortunately, there's no cookie cutter answer to that. So
yeah, my last hydrocephalus related surgery was when I was 13, and that was just the catheter lengthening one.
Yep.
Really didn't even really mess with my shunt other than to hook up the new catheter. And I stayed overnight. My surgery was like 8 in the morning. They kept me overnight, but then the next day we went home, and we lived like 6 hours from the hospital. And I'm pretty sure I was back to school on Monday. Like surgery was Friday morning, and I was back at school on Monday.
See, I kind of wish they would have waited till. I mean, of course, hindsight's always 20/20. I did that cord lengthening thing at like 4.
Yeah,
they did that surgery for me at like 4, and it was mostly abdominal, but I think when they did it at 4, I wish they would have done it closer to my teenage years, because I think that's what caused the surgery I had to have at 18, because I grew so much between 4 and 18 and 6, that my body just kind of grew around that cord and clamped onto it and wouldn't let it grow with me. And so for 2 years during high school, my body was growing, but my shunt was standing still. And so it was slowly over 2 years pulling out of my head, pulling away from my skull. Yeah. And so eventually after my senior year, we did a revision, but yeah, it was, so I think if I'd had it closer to that time, it probably wouldn't have done that,
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Everybody's different,
They told me I had some scar tissue around the original tube here, so they actually left part of it in. They took part of it out, but left part of it in.
I got pieces and parts of different shunts and different cords. I look like a used car lot, inside here. Really, everything here is all held together with scar tissue, like literally. It's crazy. In fact, the surgery I had to have in 13 was to literally clear out scar tissue because it was causing problems. So we're just knit together with scar tissue.
Jeff, the abdominal scar, like right by your belly button, a little bit up. That one, the surgeon who did my hysterectomy was cutting out endometriosis during the hysterectomy surgery, and so she went after like the back side, like the inside of that scar. And so when I woke, but she didn't tell me she was going to do it. So when I woke up, my abdomen was really sore, like right under that scar. And I'm like, what happened? And I read her surgery notes. So that's when she started talking about, getting rid of other surgical scar tissue. I'm like,
you can't
that's why.
Man, you can't even blink fast without engaging your ab muscles. I mean, seriously, the abs, these muscles here, they are tied to everything. You can't even wiggle your ear without your ab muscles being involved, So I had one of the surgeons I had left me with a scar about this long. They just went and went after the scar tissue. So yeah, it was like a C-section scar almost,
Stephanie, all I could picture when you were telling me that story is like the old sitcoms where somebody went to go do something in a car and they pull something out and they kind of look at it and go, where the hell does that go?
That's an extra piece. We don't need that.
Well, I guess we'll find out later. You got a doctor going in there going, what the hell?
Exactly. I know.
Hey, I would just like to say that we're looking forward to. I've loved this conversation, but looking forward to next week. We're going to be back with our friend Melissa, or Melly Winehouse, if you will. That always kind of freaks me out. It's like I feel like I'm calling her Smelly or something. It's no Melly Winehouse. And Jeff, you're going to be back with us for the whole show. We're going to be joined right now. We know this by a young man named Alexander Bihar, who also had a brain surgery. He's going to be joining us early in the show, and we're working on a couple other guests that we're going to be talking about. But and we know that Melissa also is dealing with Alzheimer's in her family, and so there's that talk that's also going on. And she might be bringing somebody on from the Alzheimer's Foundation, which would be a really good conversation to have with this. So, I mean, this is just going to continue as long as we can throughout this month. And then, we're going to keep going, and we're going to keep doing these shows with different, with different subjects every month. And next month we're going to be talking, and it's a hard conversation to have, but it's one that I think that we need to have. And it's going to be child abuse prevention. Next week is child abuse awareness. And there's so many things that go on in this world. And look, I'm going to tell you, and I think the two of you will agree with me. There's times that you really got to take and you got to pull back from something before you lose your cool, because it's just, and you snap. And I remember when my kids were living at home, I really had to stay guarded, because it's like going, no, walk away, don't do nothing stupid, walk away.
And when they're little too, because they can't tell you what they need, they just cry. They just cry and cry and cry. And there's been, man, I can remember with my oldest, she's 20, she'll be 21 in September, but man, when she was a baby, there were multiple times I was like, okay, we're gonna put her in the crib, you can cry your eyes out right now for a few minutes so I can go take a break for 2 seconds and bang my head against the wall for a minute. So that, because there's frustration, man. You gotta be, so crazy. So definitely, I'm sure you'll talk to people about this, but there's gotta be a method, a thing in place where you can, separate yourself out and calm yourself down, and so that you don't take it out on somebody else.
What you just mentioned was something that Stop Shaking Baby Foundation tells us all the time. It's okay to put your baby down and walk away. Put your baby in a safe location and walk away.
Yep.
There's not a problem with that. Your baby's going to be safe.
Yeah.
And at that time, your baby may be a hell of a lot safer there than they are with you. And that sucks to say. That makes you feel like garbage. I'm going to tell you right now, just saying that makes me feel like
I know, makes you feel like a terrible parent, but yeah.
But and she said, you know what? Every once in a while, Mom, walk outside, smoke that cigarette if that's what you do. Go out there, take that 5 minutes, take that 7 minutes, do what you got to do, go back in, relaxed, and with different eyes. And so that's, but these are some of the kind of tricks that we're going to be talking about all next month when we get to that, because look, we need to make sure that we're bringing awareness to some of the problems in the world. And so I know, Stephanie, I'm going to surprise you here now, but Women's Health Month is coming up sometime soon. And I definitely want to have you on during that month. And we're going to try to do some special things for the Aziza Project then. But, these are just conversations that we need to have, because all three of us are going to tell you, look, this is something that it takes a little while to know for our significant others. It takes a little while for them to get to understand what's going on. And there's times that we can't explain to them what the hell's going on because we can't figure it out.
Yeah, definitely times like that.
Yeah. And then Stephanie, you and I talked about it quite a bit, how, you went through a thing where a doctor just couldn't find nothing wrong. And so people are sitting there going, is there truly anything wrong? Is it all in their head? It's the same thing. I don't know how many times I've had hellacious headaches, and I've went into like mind-numbing, can't move headaches, and I've went into an emergency room and they've given me a Benadryl. And I'm like,
I'm sorry, that's not funny, but it's, oh man,
it's disgusting is what it is.
Oh God.
It's like, okay, thanks. You knocked me the hell out, but
still have a headache.
Didn't cure my freaking headache, Yeah. So, you just made me to where I'm going to pass out and somebody's got to carry my fat ass in from the car.
Oh.
So, I mean, this is, I think that this is the perfect show to make sure that we're making it clear to everyone. You've got to watch out for yourself. You've got to be your best, tattletale. You've got to make sure that if you don't feel good, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, because you can't just sit there and I got pissed when it came to my neck.
Yeah.
I got pissed when it came to my neck, and I finally looked at him and I said, "Fine, keep me stoned all the time. Give me your drugs. Do whatever you're going to do, whatever." And it was the drug doctor who found out after 3 years that I had cracks in my neck.
Jeez.
And it was like, but I had to literally blow up, and never been 86 out of a bar, but there's a doctor's office I can't go back to. Figure that one out.
That happened. That's what we ended up doing. Sometimes you got to take it in your own hands, man. I mean, when we in 2014, I tried to follow all the protocols and all the make your appointment with your neurologist and get your referral and get this, dot this I, cross this T, blah blah blah, and it was just too much, and I was in so much pain, and we waited, like a month and then finally it was like, nope. So Catherine I don't even remember the ride up, most of it, but she drove me up to Denver to University Hospital and dropped me on their doorstep basically and said, "Okay, we're here. Fix me,"
Yeah.
So, because sometimes you just can't wait, you just got to advocate for yourself and say, all right, I'm taking it into my own hands.
Yeah, there have been times where in the last year or so, I've wanted to just hop on a plane back to Tulsa and be like, "Fix me."
Yep.
I'm not leaving. I'm not going home until you tell me what's wrong with me.
I'm handcuffing myself to the radiator until
I'm here and so are you, and you're not going anywhere until I don't feel this way. So, hey, everybody, please make sure that you check out the Aziza Project. You can also find them on our website, communitypayitforward.us. Make sure that you make your purchases count. Go and check out the Aziza Project and learn more about what Stephanie's doing. Look, it is, and from a guy who I've had experience with women in my life who have dealt with these situations, and we got to take them serious, because it was eye-opening to me when I met Stephanie, because some of the stories, it was like, oh my God, this is exactly like this person, what this person went through. And so, this is very important, and the work she is doing is very, very important. Stephanie, how do people get a hold of you?
Our website is azizaproject.org. And there's links to sign up for our newsletter. There's a link to schedule a one-on-one with me. I think there's a contact form on there maybe too. If you're having gynecological issues, reach out. We'll have a chat and see if I can point you in some directions. Can't offer any medical advice, but I can share the resources that I've come across.
The other point of that is that even if it's not offering medical, not being able to offer medical advice, you're still able to offer what you've been through. And sometimes that's going to help you see a path that you can move from. It's going to help you move on to something else. So please make sure you visit azizaproject.org. Jeff, how do they get a hold of you, brother?
Get a hold of me. The easiest way is email me at jeff@hydrowithhope.com. That's the best way to do it. Just reach out through email. We actually, something exciting. I almost forgot because it's been so long in the making. But we just launched our new website yesterday. So it is looking good, man. We got a good looking website, and I'm super excited about it. And so everybody go check it out. Check out all the different places on there, and and let me know what you think. But that's a place to go too. But Jeff at hydrowithhope.com is the quickest way to reach out.
I like the reaction there, Stephanie. You typed it up real quick, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So I love
Looks
it.
better than the old one, doesn't it?
I love it. I love the picture on the top.
Thanks. So there's actually a picture. I can't remember where on the website. There's a picture of a little dude sitting in a robe, sitting on a bed. I'm trying to remember what page that's on. I haven't even looked around as much on here. I got to go check it out. I got to go play around. There it is on programs and services where it says our story introduction.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little dude sitting there in a robe.
Is that a little Jeff?
No, that's not me. No, his name is David, and he lives in the United Arab Emirates. And his parents reached out to me. They were one of the first people to reach out to me through Hydro with Hope for help with he was born 26 weeks premature.
Oh.
And right? He was 26 weeks when he was born, and he was in the hospital in ICU for a long time, and they knew he had hydrocephalus, but they couldn't do the surgery yet because he was too little and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, they shunted him. They got that done, and he's rocking it. In fact, they even think he might have outgrown the shunt, which is really
That's
cool.
awesome.
Like outgrown the need for it. But during that time, like we would communicate over Facebook Messenger, and it was so cool. And so when we were doing this website, I'm like, I got to ask if we can use it, because they were sending for almost a year. We've been communicating over Messenger and sending pictures back and forth and sending messages back and forth. It's been so fun. And so we've been having a blast. So I can't wait they're going to be on the show too. It's really going to be really cool. So, but he is such a cute little dude, man. They sent us pictures, and
he is. I want to steal his robe, but I don't think it'll fit me.
Good luck with that. Yeah.
So, hey, everybody, that's all the time that we've got for tonight. I want to thank Stephanie for joining us again. Jeff, more great work. We still got a little bit more to do, but thank you very much. And very much thank Les for another very informative thing. Look, nonprofits give with Les. He's got a program that can help you raise money. If you're looking for a side gig, get up there and find out what he's got. Please visit www. I don't know why we even say that anymore. CommunityPayItForward.us. CommunityPayItForward.us. You can find all of these programs that you can support. Learn something about them, because there's stories behind every nonprofit. So please learn the story, and it's going to be amazing, because it's going to click that you know somebody that could help, that they could help. So please make sure that you love somebody out there, because somebody out here loves you. My name is Zach Clayton. Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels. If you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. So make sure nobody goes alone, because if we all come together, nobody has to go it alone. So we will see you on Monday with another Footprints Forward, but goodbye for now.
Stepping out of her fear, bring me home, out alone, show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.